I think obviously 14 turnovers we haven't had 14 in a long, long time. So when you have a possession game like this, that's lower possession, which obviously equals to lower score, that many opportunities that you don't take advantage of or don't get shots in the basket obviously stand out. And obviously the offensive rebounding on their end, our inability to finish possessions defensively, I think were the two storylines. I thought defensively, for the most part, we were pretty good. We had a few breakdowns here or there, but we end up keeping them under a point per possession, which is rare in their season. But the offensive execution specifically of, just miscues of not taking care of the ball.
Over to Jim.
Greg, why do you think this team can't get over the hump against the really good teams you've played?
I think it's those little things, Jim. I think it's the things I just talked about. If it's a rebound here, a turnover there, against this level of competition, your margin for error is very slim, and you can't have an inordinate amount of those miscues. So it's the little things that we've gotten better at, but we're not good enough to in longer enough stretches yet to be able to compete or beat the teams that are at the top in the country. I'm not even talking about the top of the conference, because you got 3 or 4 or 5 that are the top of everybody nationally. So that's been the frustrating thing. It's been just little things here or there.
Tom?
Greg, how did you feel you did against Garza overall, and what were you trying to do with them first half and then second half?
Well, I didn't think we started well, Tom. I thought we let him get some post touches in transition. I thought we got better as the half went on. I thought we allowed him at times. We guarded the possession very well, and then just had him duck us in and catch it deep. And I thought we got better at that as time went on. But obviously, he's a handful. I mean, he works so hard. He's made himself into a terrific player. So he has so many baskets on extra effort plays. And obviously, 4 offensive rebounds. I don't know what he scored off the 4 that he got, but he's played 38 minutes at that size, at that effort level. It's a huge credit to him. So I thought we did a decent job on him, but I thought we did a decent job defensively on the group. 2 for 20 from 3, kept him off the free throw line. It was our turnovers and our inability to defensive rebound at key times that was the difference.
Josh?
Yeah, Greg, with those turnovers, I think you came up empty on 10 of the last 16 possessions there. Just did you think that was Iowa's defense or what you guys were doing offensively that more led to that?
Yeah, I thought we had several that were unforced. A lot of the 14, and I'll look through them and evaluate them all, but I thought we had several that were unforced, that were of our undoing. And Iowa did some things. The length, McCaffrey, Murray, obviously Garza inside too, but I thought the vast majority of them were of our we owned them.
Back to Jeff.
Greg, I know it's late in the season, but have you exhausted what you can try to do in practice to get these guys to finish better at the rim?
Well, we've done a lot, and we've done a lot of work with it. A lot. Some of it's balance, some of it's decisions. We'll continue to work. We got it. As we just talked about, we're into the last week now, and nothing more than the next 40 minutes that we'll find out Sunday when that's going to be. But we'll use this last week to continue to improve as we, operate within our bubble down here. But they've, as I told them, they put themselves in position to walk through, compete in the toughest conference in the country in the last 20, 25 years. So they're going to have an opportunity to play here in the NCAA tournament that they didn't have last year. So, we've been through the grinder, the ringer, the gauntlet, so to speak. So now we've got to, turn the page and use this next week to try to clean up some of the things that have hurt us against the best teams and get ready, because no matter who we get assigned, the 68 that are going to be left, we're all going to be good and they're all going to have had good years. So we just have to prepare for this next and last opportunity we have.
Go back to Jim.
Greg, do you think there's any lack of belief from your team against these really good teams? I mean, is there a loss of confidence?
No. Now we're right there toe to toe with a lot of these teams. We just got to play better in key stretches. I mean, if there was a lack of belief, we wouldn't be in the game with a minute to go in some of these games. So, I think they understand that we've got to take one more step in just little things that have cropped up here or there.
Greg, you guys couldn't hold on tonight, but are these last 2 nights of basketball like really encouraging before you guys head into the real dance?
Yeah, I think the last 4 games really. The previous game at Iowa, the last time we played, I thought we have trended in the right way. I thought we did a lot of good things last night. We did a lot of good things tonight. So now it's we've got to continue to improve. That's the goal until they tell us we can't play anymore. Let's try to get better every day.
Greg, moving forward from here, is it just the little things that this team needs to address, or is there anything else that you say we gotta tighten some things up here?
Well, I mean, the little things are what you tighten up, and if it's it's turnovers, if it's being more consistent on the defensive glass, if it's being better with shot selection, if it's being better and more consistent, more efficient offensively, those are the little things, and that's what we always look to tighten up.
It's kind of what went wrong the last 9 minutes. What stands out to you?
Things we can fix. All things we can fix. Taking care of the ball, rebounding. It got better at the end. The rebounding did. But there was a stretch there that, goodness, it just seemed like we forced them. They missed shots, and it just seemed they got the rebounds. And so we got to be better. I got to be better. Everyone's got to be better. And then taking care of the ball. There were a couple of possessions, I think, in a row there where we turned the ball over, and we had, I think, 14 for the game. Goodness, think about having 7 of those back. Like, just giving ourselves 7 more opportunities to get a shot at the bucket. I like those odds for us winning that game. So it's things we can fix. The effort was good again. Offensively, we got a little. I don't know. We put ourselves in tough situations, making not the greatest reads and getting kind of stagnant at some points. Stuff we can fix, but where we're at now, our backs against the wall. We have nowhere to go. If you lose, you're done now. So if that's not motivation, I don't know what it is. So we're upset. This one stinks a lot. I mean, obviously we lost to them twice in the regular season, but this one stinks. But all we can do is use it for motivation going forward. We have nowhere to go but forward, and it's do or die now. So it's March. It's going to happen. So you got to be able to react and you got to be able to respond.
Josh?
Micah, when it comes to the teams that have been above you guys in the Big Ten this year, what do you think it is that's been the difference this year versus last year as far as getting over that hump and beating some of the teams that are above you guys in the standings?
Well, a big thing for us throughout the year was just, we weren't offensively, we got very stagnant. And that's something we've really worked on in practice over the course of the last 2-3 weeks of the regular season. It was just because defensively, I believe we were number 7 in the country. So defensively, we were doing well. But against especially the teams that you've got in this this is the best conference in the country. It's not even close. And I think it's one of the best conferences in the last 25. I don't know. You guys probably know the stats more than me, but in a conference like this, you got to be able to do both. You got to play defense. You got to play offense. And so now we're really starting to get into a better offensive rhythm. Guys are hitting shots, and it's given us confidence. so now it's like the growth that we've had over the course of the last 3 weeks, especially like you look at the 3 times we've played Iowa, and we've gotten the growth is good. It's there. We got to continue to learn. We got to continue to grow. We've got a big opportunity in front of us. It's do or die. But the biggest thing is you got to make sure you're playing both ends of the ball and taking care of the ball and making smart decisions. This is now you're playing against the best teams in the country, and so regardless of what conference they're in, and you got to be able to do everything right. You got to be able to respond and move on from plays. You can't let one play affect the other. You got to move on. You got to respond. It's March. If calls aren't going your way, if you turn the ball over, you got to make the next play, because this is it. If you have no time to mope around, you have no time to respond in a negative way. You got to move on. You got to play harder because of it. So you just got to be able to do everything. Do the little things right. Blocks out, rebound the ball, attack the ball, and rebounds. Take care of the ball. All those little things.
We have time for one more for Micah. Jeff?
Yeah, Mike, I have my opinion on this, but I'm really curious why you said this one stings. It appears that this one bothers you more than the 2 losses during the regular season. Why is that?
We had them. It's the best offensive team in the country, and we held them below 1 point per possession. It stings. It stings. But you know what? Like I said, we kind of allow ourselves to be mad and upset about it tonight, but tomorrow it's on to the next one. We got to learn from the mistakes. We got to be able to move on. We got nowhere else to go. Backs against the wall. You lose, you're done. So we got to find that motivation. We got to do it for each other. We got to do it for the coaching staff, and we got to do it for Wisconsin. And I'm not saying we haven't done that, their whole year. It's just this is it. So especially with the, all the seniors that we have, this is it. So we got to be able to make sure that we're giving it all we got, because it's do or die now.
Dimitri, how this is a weird one to start off with, but is it exciting to be at the point where you guys can go ahead and think about playing in the NCAA tournament, considering what's happened over the last year?
Obviously, we're excited to play in the NCAA tournament. It's an honor. Obviously, we were cut short. Right now, I can't even think about the NCAA too much. I got to get over this tough loss in the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, a team in a game we should have won, and I feel like we battled the whole game. Just some miscues down the stretch, and it's kind of hard to think about what's to come when this just happened. So,
Go Jeff.
Dimitri, you guys were tied after Micah hit those 2 free throws, and then they went on that spurt where you guys couldn't do anything offensively. How would you describe the execution of the team on both ends of the court down the stretch that allowed Iowa to take this victory?
yeah, I mean, they got a few key offensive rebounds, but honestly, I feel like down the stretch, and I told the guys after the game that I put really down the stretch on my shoulders, and that's on me. I feel like I let the guys down late down the stretch. I had a couple key turnovers. I let Bohannon get to his right hand and get to a layup. Just 4 or 5 boneheaded plays that I made that really, really cost us there down the stretch. And as a senior and a leader, I need to be a lot better. I will be better, but honestly, I really put this on my shoulders, and it feels like it really sucks for me as a senior to go out like that when I know my teammates put it all on the line and fought for 40 minutes. And then for me to do some dumb things like that as a senior really hurts.
Jim?
You guys have come close lately to beating some of these teams that finished above you in the Big Ten standings. Why do you think you guys can't get over the hump?
Honestly, that's a tough question because obviously we can compete with these teams, but there's just little things here and there that we got to be better at, whether that's down the stretch, execution, like Jeff said, a lot of different things that play into it. But after today's game, I just have to be better as a point guard and somebody that has the ball in my hands. So we got to be better down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of just goes with what you were just saying. But did you feel like Iowa's defense did something different to you guys down the stretch that threw you off, or did you feel like it was kind of unforced errors that led to some of the bad possessions for you guys on offense?
I definitely think it was unforced. A couple dumb turnovers, a couple missed shots, or things that we didn't execute well on our end. And again, like I said, I made a few of those dumb mistakes and dumb turnovers. So, like I said, I can't put that on the other guys. The ball was in my hands, and they were looking for me to make a play, and I didn't come up with it.
We'll go with last one over to Jeff.
Yeah, Dimitri, I know you're going to have to stew on this for a while, but overall, given the last few games, let's say the last 4 games, do you feel that this team is improved and better equipped to play well in the tournament than you were, say, 2 weeks ago?
Most definitely. I think our team is on the right track. I think we have our head in the right space. The coaches have our backs, and we know, and we're playing for one another. I think it's definitely going to be good to get out of the Big Ten, so to speak, and play against other teams that are not as comfortable with the tendencies that we like to do and scout us as well as other teams do in the Big Ten. So we're excited about that. But like I said, we got to get back to the drawing board and figure out how to execute really well down the stretch. And because we know every team in the NCAA tournament is going to be really good. So we just gotta be better as a whole. And I personally need to be better down the stretch.